Funding for Mastodon Minutes is provided by the Indiana-Purdue Student Government Association.
On the broadcast today, see how the crisis nearly 9,000 miles away in Japan resonates right here on IPFW's campus.
And IPFW students and faculty participate in the efforts to help those affected by this deadly earthquake.
Also, we visited the IPSGA meet and greet event to see how it went.
And finally, March Madness has begun. How's your bracket holding up?
All of this today on Mastodon Minutes News, as well as a recap of IPFW sports with Josh Van Cleve. A magnitude 9.0 earthquake rocks northern Japan early Friday, causing tsunamis that created widespread devastation and crippled several nuclear power plants. Hello, I'm Andy Starwich.
And I'm Nick Lawrence.
I caught up with Kyle Steary at the Brass Rail to find out more on the relief efforts taking place right here in Fort Wayne.
That's what we're funding tonight, is the disaster relief program at Wilkes. It's a hot topic. People are talking about it. People want to help. And it was a good way to do it, so we just decided to do it. All of the proceeds made at the door will go directly to World Vision. World Vision has a really strict auditing of their finances. 85% of their funding goes directly to their programs, which is more than a lot of groups can say. The suggested donation is $10 because it was so last minute. We are just kind of saying whatever you want to give is cool. I think most people are giving $10 though, which is really awesome. The outcome's been good. We just started, so as far as Facebook, which was our primary means of getting the word out, we had about 120 respond saying they were coming, but at the same time, people are showing up, and I feel like it's just going to get bigger as the night goes on.
And to donate money, go to our Facebook page, Mastodon Minutes. Nick, are there any other local relief efforts going on?
Yes, there are, Andy. Yesterday I caught up with Yuriko Ujike, an instructor of Japanese here at IPFW and also a member of the Japan American Society of Indiana, and currently has a daughter living near Tokyo. She has set up a donation box in the Liberal Arts Building, room 267, and says the box will be there for about another week or so, and she's just so appreciative of all the efforts IPFW has done in this, and the death toll has now reached over 6,500. Such an important issue here at IPFW.
I think it really puts things into perspective, and any way you can to help out, just pick and choose a relief effort.
And last week, IPSGA held its annual meet and greet student government candidates event in the WALB Student Union. This event, Wednesday and Thursday, featured the candidates meeting, greeting, and eating with the student body.
These are not easy events to do, especially with spring break set us back. We didn't have adequate time to really plan a lot of this, and yet it's still working out rather well. People are eating the food provided, and I wish more of them would speak with the candidates and really get to know the 11 candidates for executive office for 2011. It's really the student's choice. It's an open, free, and democratic election, something that over the world people are aspiring to, and we have it right here.
For more on the IPSGA elections, follow us in the upcoming weeks for coverage of the candidates' debates and our election special.
Well, changing gears here a little bit, it sure did warm up out there. I think all those spring break travelers must have brought back some of that southern sunshine.
Well, obviously, because you're here.
Well, luckily for you. Well, speaking of sunshine, let's head over to Josh Van Cleve with Mastodon Sports.
Thanks, Andy and Nick. Let's get started. Men's volleyball went on the road when they went out to Phoenix and beat Grand Canyon in a 2-game stretch, 3-0, and the next game 3-1. Let's move it over to men's basketball, where they lost in the first round of the Summer League tournament to South Dakota State, 75-85. Let's switch genders. Women's basketball won their first round in the Summer League tournament against UMKC, 68-53. But then when they advanced in the second round, they lost to South Dakota State 67-70. For the first time in school history, IPFW hosted NCAA postseason tournament game. The ladies faced off against Cleveland State, where it was a tough battle up until the end, but then lost a heartbreaker 62-73. IPFW may have fell short from the making of NCAA tournament, but nonetheless, there are still plenty of excitement around here. On a special Mastodon Minutes bracketology segment, I'm Josh Van Cleve alongside with Nick Lawrence and Tim Zink. All right, boys, let's get started here. Let's start with the East region. Who do you guys got advancing and why?
East region, I have Ohio State advancing all the way to the Final Four. North Carolina as well, right there in the Elite Eight.
All right, guys, this is gold. I have Ohio State here. They are a strong team. I have them advancing into the finals. They have a strong team led by, well, Deshaun Thomas is on that team, Fort Wayne native and everything. But I also think a team to look out for is North Carolina. After a one-year hiatus, they're rebuilding. They're better than expected. But also in the bracket, we have a local in-state team, Indiana State. They're going up against Syracuse. They had a tough 5-game losing streak earlier this year, but I think they bounced back just in time for the tournament, but I don't think they'll be able to turn it against Syracuse.
That's going to be a tough game of Syracuse and Indiana State. I think I picked Syracuse advancing on. Now, Ohio State. You guys have Ohio State going all the way to the championship game. I, on the other hand, don't. I'm not a big Ohio State fan. I don't know if you already know that or not, but that's here nor there. But I have North Carolina beating them in the Elite Eight. All right, let's move on to the West region. What do you guys got?
I got the Blue Devils, Duke going all the way to the Final Four. Connecticut and San Diego State, though, two teams to watch out for.
That's very true.
I have Connecticut prevailing, though. Tim, the man with the numbers.
I'm kind of like you. I have Duke. They're not going to have any problem reaching the Elite Eight.
Coach K has got him taught up right. He's going to advance them on, I think.
Good team.
Yes. And also Connecticut, I think they're bouncing back. They're led by Kemba Walker's 23.4 points per game. So they're going to be dangerous, and he's definitely going to the NBA next year, one of the few prospects in this year's draft.
I agree.
But also San Diego State. I mean, I know VC over here is a big fan.
I am. I'm rooting him on.
He's got him going all the way.
I haven't quite drank the Kool-Aid yet.
Well, Tim, just wait and see what happens. You'll be a believer soon enough. All right, so like you guys, I got Duke going all the way to the Elite Eight, along with San Diego State. I have Connecticut going on, but San Diego State beats Connecticut in Sweet 16. All right, we go from the West. Let's go to the Southeast this time. All right, Nick, what do you got?
Southeast, #1 seed, Pittsburgh, looking pretty strong. I have them going all the way, but Florida's going to stop them there. I think Florida's going to go all the way to the national championship.
I don't know about that one.
I'm seeing another rematch of the 2007 national championship. This time, Buckeyes, the Big Ten champs this year, going on top.
I think in the Southeast region, I think Pittsburgh, there's going to be a lot of happy steel makers out there. I mean, they're looking strong. They look strong against UNCA in the first round. They're led by Ashton Gibbs, 17 points per game. Yeah. They're 8th in the nation in rebounds, 4th in assists, and they should have no problem with Butler in the second round.
That's true.
I also think there's going to be a tough match between BYU and Florida, but I think Florida will prevail, even though BYU has Jimmer Fredette's 28.5 points per game. But I think them coming from a weak conference, I think that's going to work against them.
All right, I will have to agree with you on the Pittsburgh. The Florida thing, not so much. I got Pittsburgh over Butler, which Butler had a good game against Old Dominion. Then I got Wisconsin going on to face Pittsburgh. Then I have Pittsburgh advancing on to the championship game. Like I said, I got the BYU taking over Florida. And then if we go from the Southeast, let's go to the Southwest. Nick, what do you got?
Southwest, again, #1 seed. I think Kansas, is going to go pretty far. Purdue, I have Purdue and Kansas facing off, and Purdue and Notre Dame, the game to watch, the game everyone's watching.
That's going to be a good game.
I lost sleep over that. I went with Purdue. What do you got, Tim, on that one?
All right. Well, I think Kansas is going to have an easy road to the Elite Eight now, especially with Vanderbilt and Louisville both losing in the first round.
Yeah.
But I think
big upsets.
Everybody in this state, the big game that everybody wants to see is Purdue and Notre Dame. It should be pretty good. Purdue's led by Big Ten Player of the Year, Juwan Johnson, and E'Twaun Moore. I think they'll be able to have the firepower to compete with Notre Dame's Ben Hansbrough, but I think Notre Dame will be able to beat them.
I have to agree with you on that one, Tim. I think you're right with that. Ben Hansbrough will take him over and beat Purdue. Now Louisville, that was a huge upset against
huge upset. That was almost a bracket buster for me right there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Luckily, I had Kansas over Louisville, and Kansas going on to the Final Four. Speaking of Final Fours, what do you guys got?
Final Four recap. I got Ohio State versus Duke, Kansas versus Florida. Tim?
All right. I have Ohio State versus Duke as well, and Notre Dame versus Pittsburgh.
I got Kansas versus Pittsburgh, and North Carolina versus San Diego State. Of course, both of you guys know I got San Diego State going to the championship game with Pittsburgh, but I have Pittsburgh prevailing over the top of that championship game. So you guys feel you guys have a pretty good bracket?
I think I got a good bracket. San Diego State, that's a team to watch out for. Ohio State and Florida in the final game, that's what I'm thinking. Tim, what do you have?
I'm thinking Ohio State versus Notre Dame, and you're fighting Irish, but you don't even have them going there. But I have Ohio State winning.
All right, boys. Right now, Nick, you're leading in the pool right now, but we'll see how things change after today's games. All right, boys, good luck on your brackets. I'm Josh Van Cleve with sports.
I'm Tim Zink.
And I'm Nick Lawrence. Thanks for watching Mastodon Minutes News. As always, Mastodon Minutes News is always at your fingertips every day and all day at facebook.com/Mastodon Minutes. On behalf of the entire news team here, thanks for watching. More program from CATV is coming up next.